Good morning and welcome to day 14 of the 30-day Renewing Your Mind Challenge. Listen, you made it 2 whole weeks. That's no small thing. In fact, I think that's a reason to celebrate. So get up on your feet right now and do a little dance. How about if we do a little dance? We'll just... Okay. All right, sorry about that. Some things you can't unsee, right? But hopefully you did a little dance, you did a little celebration. It's okay. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to celebrate the right things, even when we're in quarantine, even when we're stuck at home. It's important. It's important to allow ourselves to think and experience the right things. And I have really good news for you today. Today is a review day, which means there are no new scriptures for you to memorize. But I want you to be able to go back over the last week and really get to know those verses really, really well. Okay? So do that today, but I want to give you a little bit of an encouragement. And we've got to do our accountability. If you memorized yesterday's scripture, your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. John 13:35. If you wrote that down, like I did, if you wrote it down, put a thumbs up. If you posted it somewhere where you can see it every day, put a fist bump in the chat. And if you memorized it, then give me one of them strong muscle emojis, right? Because you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger as we do this. So do that. And let me talk for a moment about why we do this. I want to remind you today why we do this. There are pathways that have been created in our brain. In fact, if you've ever had the opportunity to see the Oregon Trail, it's absolutely fascinating. In the middle of the mountains, as they're going across this path that they created, this trail, you literally see cut into the rock places where the wagon wheels went. They're large ruts, so these wagons couldn't help but go there. They could not help but go down these ruts because the ruts were so deep they would get stuck in those ruts and they just keep right on going. And it wasn't a bad thing. In fact, ruts are not a bad thing if they're taking you the right place. But if one of those wagons were to get in some ruts that went right off a cliff, that wouldn't be good. That's what's going on in our mind. See, every thought that runs through our mind is like another wagon. And every time we think the same type of thought, it's like another wagon cutting across that rock, making that rut deeper and deeper and deeper. And so, do we want our ruts to lead us off a cliff somewhere? Or do we want our ruts to lead us to the right places? That's what we're doing here. We're trying to recreate the ruts in our mind to take us to the right type of thoughts. The thoughts that lead to love, the thoughts that lead to hope, the thoughts that lead to joy and peace. It's critically important that we create the right ruts in our mind. So let me give you a little clue about this. There's one major key to this. First of all, we're doing this for 30 days for a reason. Rome wasn't built in a day. Your thoughts aren't going to be created in a day. It's going to take that diligence, and 30 days is going to get you headed in the right direction. So don't stop on me now. Don't fail me now. Don't fail yourself. Don't quit on yourself. Stick with this all the way to the end. And here's one major key. What you do and what you think when you are waking up and when you are going to bed are critical. These are the most critical times for a person, especially if you're trying to recreate your thoughts. Because when you wake up in the morning, that gets your day going and kind of sets the direction for your day. When you go to bed, we think at night. We dream at night. And what we put into our mind right before we go to bed is going to have an impact on those thoughts. We're not always, or on those dreams. What we dream isn't always exactly what we thought, but I'll bet you could tie the emotions. The emotions of what you were doing right before you went to bed probably tie to the emotions of what happened in your dream. So we need to guard and protect our waking up and our going to bed. At the very beginning, I started with this, Deuteronomy 6, and I'm just going to read verses 6 and 7. It says, "You must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I'm giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you are getting up." This was given to us. That scripture was written 3,500 years ago, and it's just as prevalent today. Think about this for a second. When the Israelites were in the wilderness, God gave them manna in the morning, and he gave them quail at night. He gave them a reason to be thankful when they were waking up, and he gave them a reason to be thankful when they were going to bed. Think about that. And the manna piece, if they didn't get up and partake of what the Lord had first thing in the morning, it was gone. When the sun came up, it melted away. It's the same with our days. If we don't give the first part of our day to God, our mind is off and running a million directions, and we can't get it back. And you know what I'm talking about. So think about, as you're going through and you're rememorizing these scriptures, think about how you can be more thankful when you first wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. That's it. Share this with someone, share it on your page. I'll see you tomorrow.